One of the greatest lightsaber duelists of his era, and a highly regarded lightsaber instructor within the Jedi Order, Dooku was acknowledged to be a significantly distinguished Jedi Master during his time as a Jedi. However, despite this position and reputation, Dooku was never a member of the Jedi Order's High Council. In today's video, we'll explain why this was the case, looking specifically at the Legends novel Darth Plagueis and the Jedi vs. Sith, The Essential Guide to the Force Guide. Given the recognition he achieved as previously mentioned, it's not surprising to note that Dooku was offered an invitation to join the Jedi High Council. Therefore, had he wanted to, he could have accepted, becoming a member of the council. However, Dooku didn't accept, turning down the invitation. Interestingly, the Jedi vs. Sith The Essential Guide to the Force Guide notes that Dooku declining membership on the council caused a quote minor commotion when it occurred. But the Darth Plagueis novel reveals the reason why Dooku did not want to be on the High Council. In a conversation he had with Palpatine when Dooku was still a Jedi and had no understanding of Palpatine's allegiances to the Sith, Dooku was clear. He declined to be a member of the Jedi High Council because he wanted to concentrate upon and devote his efforts to diplomacy, focusing on promoting peace throughout the galaxy. Diplomacy was an important component of the Jedi Order. As explained within the Jedi Path Guide, those Jedi who chose to pursue a path as a Jedi Consular could specifically become Jedi diplomats. It was through the work of these diplomats where hostilities could be ended, thereby saving billions of lives. Although Dooku wanted to devote himself to diplomacy, the Essential Guide to the Force makes it appear as though the Jedi High Council questioned this decision to some degree. But as noted by Dooku himself, the Council ultimately conceded, as it was accepted that Dooku would better serve the Force through his efforts towards promoting peace than by being a member of the High Council. Importantly, Dooku's tremendous skills in lightsaber combat was important to this conclusion, as he viewed his proficiency with a lightsaber as something that would be valuable to the work he carried out in pursuing diplomacy. This decision by Dooku to devote himself to diplomacy is interesting, as it not only explains why he was never a member of the Jedi High Council, but it's also important to Dooku's eventual decision to join the Sith and the dark side of the Force. Roughly 12 years before the events of The Phantom Menace, Dooku led a Jedi task force on a mission to the planet of Galadron. Very briefly, Galadron's governor had lied in requesting assistance, a lie that was believed by the Jedi High Council, and which brought Dooku and his Jedi task force into conflict with a group known as the True Mandalorians. As Dooku would know himself, Galadron was a bloodbath, as the Jedi eventually engaged the True Mandalorians in combat on the planet. In the end, 11 Jedi, and every true Mandalorian except one, who interestingly was Jango Fett, had been killed. Eventually, Dooku would learn what truly occurred and recognize that the events that took place on Galadron had been a setup. Through Dooku's own writings found within the Essential Guide to the Force, he believed that the true Mandalorians had committed atrocities against Galadron's citizens. Instead, this reason that brought the Jedi to the planet wasn't true, and the true Mandalorians were innocent. As the Legends novel Labyrinth of Evil demonstrates, Dooku would ultimately leave the Jedi Order and join the Sith and dark side for a number of reasons. He continuously grew frustrated with the Republic's Senate, with Supreme Chancellor Valorum, who Dooku viewed as ineffective, and with the members of the Jedi High Council, with Dooku believing these Jedi were short-sighted. But Dooku's efforts relating to diplomacy, particularly through the events that took place on Galadron, were also important to Dooku eventually leaving the Jedi Order. As the Sith Lords Darth Plagueis and Darth Sidious recognize, Galadron had a devastating effect on Dooku, with Plagueis understanding that the events on Galadron had worked to deepen the schism that existed between Dooku and the High Council, particularly regarding the Council's decisions to use the Jedi as warriors throughout the galaxy. Sidious also understood the importance of Galadron for Dooku, recognizing that each time he saw Dooku after Galadron, he started to look less and less like a Jedi Master. As Dooku himself concluded and revealed to Palpatine, he had chosen not to become a member of the Jedi High Council so he could devote himself to diplomacy. And yet, despite this commitment, the Republic was only sliding deeper into chaos. Therefore, despite being recognized as a distinguished Jedi of his era, immensely skilled in lightsaber combat, and one of the Jedi Order's best lightsaber instructors, Dooku was never a member of the Jedi High Council. Although he had been invited to become a member of the Council, Dooku declined, choosing to devote himself to diplomacy, attempting to promote peace. In the end, this decision by Dooku not only kept him from joining the Jedi High Council, but it also likely added to his growing frustrations with the Republic and members of the High Council, becoming an important component to Dooku's decision to leave the Jedi Order and join the Sith. So there we have it, why Dooku was never on the Jedi High Council. We love making these videos, so why not subscribe for more fun Star Wars theories and discussions. Also, if you enjoyed the video, think about giving a like or leaving a comment. If not for me... For true Mandalorian lore.